Hey everybody, welcome back to Build with Bickle. I am Ian Bickle, and today I thought I would just talk about a little bit of a reflection of 2020 and looking forward into 2021, give you a general idea of what the podcasts and YouTubes are about. So if you want to watch this over video format, you can subscribe to Build with Bickle and catch it there. You can go to Instagram TV if you want. You can watch it via the podcast. I'm not 100% on the Instagram TV thing. However, YouTube and the podcast is certainly going to be the focus within this sort of thing that I'm doing. So looking back over 2020, it's been a rough year. It's been a tough year for a lot of people, particularly myself and my business partner, Stephen, because we own a gym, and there's been this thing called coronavirus, which really took hold last March. And I think within the past 9 months of recording this, we've maybe been open for 4 of those. And by the looks of it, we're in another lockdown, unfortunately. It's going to be essentially a year that we've been open for 4 months. This has kind of impacted us because obviously financially, me and my wife have just bought a new house, but there's always that worry. We have a great community down within the gym at To Be Fit. However, this last lockdown is going to be the most challenging one, and this is kind of going into 2021. And I've just felt like I've just fell off the pace. Having a 3-year-old. One thing that hasn't changed, which is a good thing, which is something that I try and get people to do, is we kind of learn to separate emotions from food, and being able to kind of do all of that and not go to the bottle or go to food and kind of numb things using that, is a positive thing. A lot of people will turn to food and alcohol and things that maybe aren't particularly healthy during times of stress, and that's just a coping mechanism, and maybe it's something that they've done over years and years and years. This is a challenge when people want to lose weight, because emotional eating is typically where a large amount of their caloric intake come from. A lot of people do eat for pleasure. Food isn't just fuel, of course. I eat for pleasure also, but I also eat for health. But given the obesogenic environment we're in, food palatability is just super high. It's hedonic. It tastes great. It makes us feel great. In the moment, we feel fantastic, but ultimately, it's leading to long-term dissatisfaction and unhappiness. So when stressful situations arise, people may feel strong urges to consume food, a numbing agent almost. And working with clients, my priority with them is if we reduce or stop fundamentally this caloric intake, given the situation of your life, a lot of perfectionism and things like that comes into play. I know I went off on a tangent there, but I feel like it's necessary. Sometimes I will go off on tangents because there must be context within all situations. This is why with nutrition and exercise, it has to be firstly principle driven. Secondly, it has to work within the context of an individual's life and life changes. So as a coach, I help kind of soundboard with clients and looking over things given the context of everything. So looking forward into 2021, I just want to kind of voice my thoughts, my experiences, my failures, if you'd like, that's led to some degree of success within my physique, within my business, within my outlook, within my coaching practice, because I'm an online coach, and get this, I realize that I don't actually do anything. How do people know I'm an online coach? How do people even like us? If I didn't have a gym, would people even know who I was? So by doing this and put myself out there a little bit more, answering people's queries, all this stuff's free. The podcast's free, the YouTube's free. You can ask me stuff, you can communicate with me. I can help you for free. Of course, if people do want a little bit more of an individualized approach, they can work with me. But I'm just going to kind of say, hey, like, I just want something positive to focus on and help people with their lives. And I understand that weight management is a thing that people are mindful of. They want to lose weight. They want to feel better. They want to be able to run up the stairs with the kids. They want to be able to play with the kids. They want to be able to put the shoes on without like getting out a puff. They want to feel sexy naked. They want to be able to go by the pool and feel strong and confident. They want to look better. They want to feel better. All of these sorts of things. And a lot of this is going to be driven through good nutrition, good lifestyle, good exercise. And I'm here to give you like my non-biased views. Like, I have a bias. Everyone has a bias. I like to bodybuild. I enjoy bodybuilding. I've got a history of bodybuilding. But obviously when people come to me, I don't want them to assume that I'm going to turn them into some sort of like stringer wearing kind of or bikini model, 5-day split, bro bodybuilding, like chicken rice and broccoli bullshit, for quite lack of a better term. I'll have to beep that out. What I want to kind of do is go, right, meet you where you are. You are here. Let's try and get you to where you want to be, if it's reasonable, if it's realistic. And develop the skill sets, the mindset, the understanding and education of how to get you there. Not only get you there and keep you there. Now, 2021, like 2020 and every year past, there's bullshit out there. A lot of people off the back of Christmas are going to feel like they've overindulged. Everybody does it, and that's perfectly normal. If we take a big, wide look at your lifestyle and weight, okay, there's going to be times during the year that you've gained weight. There's going to be times when you've lost weight, and it's the relationship between the two that is going to dictate whether you are putting on or losing overall mass. Okay, so we need to have a bigger picture look. So a week isn't going to kill it if you're on it like for whatever, 51 days of 51 weeks of the year. And that's what I kind of do with my clients. Is like, listen, take a look back, look how far you've come, look how much weight you've lost, look how you feel, look how you are in social situations now, your education around nutrition, being able to move the goalposts in a positive way that allows you to keep consistent. And like oh yeah, and I think a lot of people get lost in the moment and they forget to just pause and stop and think rationally, and also forget to look forward, and think about obviously the next part of their life, the next part of this process potentially, and also being present and remembering why you're there. Now, it's not just the food. As I mentioned, food isn't just fuel. Food is for pleasure, and you can enjoy food without it resulting in it being a complete catastrophe and for you to binge or do any behaviors that you feel aren't kind of conducive to long-term health. Like, I overate in Christmas. I gained weight. It sharply dissipated because I've returned back to normal habits and behaviors. But like, I don't dwell on it, and I don't have this kind of righting reflex where you go the other direction, the kind of complete opposite direction of where you've been. So everybody within the after Christmas tends to firstly get everything out of the house. Most people tend to eat it. All right, so not a great start. The fact New Year started on a Friday, they probably waited till New Year, New Me on the Monday after, because who starts a diet on a Friday? Which crazy person does that? Who, like me personally, I started reining it in. We've got chocolates, and that is going to last me till probably August, because it may have 1 or 2 a day. And yeah, I enjoy it, move on with my life. So yeah, like for me, I just wanted to get on here and just be like, hey, this is an update from me. This is what I want to do going into 2021. And I have decided that, yeah, I want to diet. I get good momentum when I'm cutting. And I'll go in the next podcast, in the next video, I'll talk a little bit about my personal approach to it all. I've done numerous deficits, and this one's just going to be, in principle the same, but the methodology throughout it might just be a little bit different from how I previously what I previously did, but the results are going to be within the ballpark of the same. Another thing moving forward, personally for me, is this rambling, going off on tangents, stumbling my words, making mistakes. Like, I need to practice what I preach, and I don't want to be a perfectionist with this YouTube. Now, obviously, I watch YouTube and I listen to podcasts, and they're very well polished. So this is quite foreign to me, and like a lot of people, they're going to pick apart what they're doing in the moment. They're going to compare themselves to others. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be fantastic, and that usually like puts people off from starting. But what we have to do is, commit to the process. Things will get better. Things like lighting will get better. Certainly this room that I'm in, which is my kind of little study, the house is getting decorated at the moment, so things are a bit upside down, and that's okay. Like, I can't wait till everything's perfect, because nothing ever will be perfect, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, because we should always be striving to get a little bit better. So with the channel, with the podcast, with it, I want to kind of get people on board, subscribed. I want you to share and like, and understand that where I come from is a place of positivity. I just want to be able to help you as an individual become a better, more well-balanced person. I want you to ask me questions and opinions on certain things. I'm not obviously, I'm not like a kind of a doctor or anything. There's an awful lot outside my scope of practice. So if people are asking us about certain things, I will say, right, this is my opinion. And if it's certainly something that is more clinical, I'll be like, right, you need to go speak to a professional. And that's just some of the qualities that are lacking in the fitness industry. Obviously, there's a financial aspect attached to working with people, and a lot of people don't want to turn people away or turn people to other people, but in the grand scheme of things, we are dealing with people's health and well-being. People will come to me with maybe a little bit of an idea what it's going to be like, maybe given the nature of what they've seen via social media or whatever. Whereas like what I want to try and do is show people that, hey, I'm just a normal person. I'm human. I like talking to people. I like making people feel good. I like making people laugh. That's my favorite thing. And like what I do is for me. My training is for me. My nutrition is mine. It meets principles and qualities that are required for my goals, but the things that go into it, the inner workings, are they have to kind of strike both an emotional chord and also move me closer towards my goals. So that's kind of what I want to do with this. Anyway, I thought I would just kind of give that little bit of an introduction. Hopefully you lasted the course. Make sure you subscribe, whether it's through YouTube. You can turn on notifications, so if a video pops up, you'll get a ping on your phone or your iPad. The podcast, of course, leave 5 stars, subscribe, and yeah, that's going to be it from me for today, and hopefully we'll be able to get more context with things moving forward. Anyway, thank you for watching, and speak to you soon.